Good morning, everybody. My name is Lonnie. This is the first time I'm doing this bit of vlogging on YouTube. I've been a computer nerd and geek for quite some time, so trust me when I tell you this would have been absolutely nothing for me to do, but I'm actually starting to get into it now simply because a procedure that I was looking to do, a medical procedure, I went onto YouTube and I saw a lot of videos that did help me a lot. So I'm hoping that I can now do my part in bestow my knowledge upon you guys to see if it helps you guys. So this is going to be video numero uno, number one here. So it's going to be the baseline of my video. I'm going to tell you who I am, what procedure I had, why I had it, just the gist of everything. So it might be a little bit longer than other videos. Not too sure yet. It depends how quickly or slowly that I talk and explain things. So, yes, let's get right into it. My name is Lonnie. I am 34. I have one child, married, and he's the love of my life. They both are, both my men are the love of my lives. And I really want to have more children. And at 34, I really had an awakening. I'm like, listen, I told my husband, I'm going to tell you something that many women don't have the courage to bring forth and say. But I'm not a spring chicken anymore, and as such, things are getting older inside. And even though I can do the exercise, I can change my eating, my diet, and it'll help, it really will. But I believe it was Shakespeare who said, medicine may prolong the life, but in the end, death will seize the doctor too. It comes to all. And not being a spring chicken really made me act and act aggressively. So, in saying so, what I had was, or what I wanted to have, was a gastric bypass. Now, 2008, I had a lap band put in. My highest weight at that time was, I believe, it was nearing 300. It's like I was in the 290s. I just, for some reason, I hovered at 290 and I was good. I think that was because I was single in my late 20s. I was single, and I worked a lot. Oh, a lot. Because being in computers and programming, all that, it's a lot of keyboard time, and book time, and it's just a lot. So I don't regret it. It definitely made me who I am today, so I absolutely love it. But as you know, I had to give up something for it, and what I gave up was my good health. And oh yeah, I need to finish some code, so let me order some pizza, let me do something like that. And one day you just add it to the other, and like, okay, I am only 27 years old, and this weight has come upon me. Like, whoa. So I went ahead, had the lap band in 2008. And in 2008, like I said, my highest was around 290. And the band worked marvelously. It really did. I was able to use it as the tool that it was. Because, first of all, let me say that having any type of weight loss surgery is not the easy way out. It is, however, a tool that will be with you day in and day out. And that is what many people, and why many people seek such surgeries. I've been through one, and now I'm going through a second one. This is why. And again, when we get to the reason why for the second one, hopefully you'll understand why. Now, I'm 6 feet tall on the dot. I carry my weight well. So when I say that I was 290, none of my doctors that I went to, when they would put me on the scale, they measure me, they stop at the 220 mark or 240, and they're looking for everything that's under 250. And I'm like, no, 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 sweetie. Unfortunately, keep going higher. And like, okay, 260 to 70, no, keep going. You know, so I'm blessed, very, very, very blessed, because a lot of women that you see going through such a surgery, they're like, oh, I weigh 240 pounds. I'm like, I wish, mofo, I wish. Because at 6 feet tall and I'm a thick build, 240 would be great on me. Because my goal weight is really 215, 210 to 215. And I'd still be thin. I'd be a size 12. And I really don't want to go to the government standards or government charts suggesting that a female of my height be 175. That is a crackhead. Okay? No, no, no. I know what's good for my body. I know I'm not trying to get to a skinny, oh, I need a thigh gap. Screw that crap. No, absolutely not. So, in any event, I think I totally digress, but I think there's a point in there somewhere. Hopefully, you'll find that I do this often. My best friend calls it grazing or glazing. So, by the way, hi Amber. Told you I was gonna do this. Ta-da! Finally. But yes. So, see that I digress so many damn times. Uh, so yes, I had the band in 2008. It worked great. And in a year or two's time, I was going out with my then boyfriend, now husband, and I started my profession. So I was doing programming professionally now, no longer on the side. And as doing that and finishing up my last semester at college, I was in zombie mode like for at least 6 months straight. And the band helped tremendously during that time because when I did reach for some type of food, I consciously now had to make the right decision of, well, instead of reaching for a burger, um, and the times I did eat burgers when I had the band, but I would throw the bread away, just have the meat and what have you. And it wasn't something that I had often. So that was one thing that the band allowed me to do. And that's why I really enjoyed it. Like when I went through the PMS and what have you, I could get that Snickers. And oh my God, the bite into chocolate soothed my body, my cravings, my hormones, everything. It was just, oh, chocolate centers, calm down. We got chocolate in the system. And it was one bite. It wasn't a whole bar. It wasn't a big bar. It wasn't the buy two for one bars. It was one bite. One freaking bite. And I really enjoy that so much. Because beyond having that tool, you could have believed that whole bar would have been gone in one sitting. So yes, having the any weight loss surgery, like I said, is not the easy way out by far because it takes a lot to mentally change. And you have, just think of it like a horse that has blinders on, or guiders rather. You're guiding the horse to see the path you want them to take. There's a whole lot more they can do, but you want to go this path because it's the better path for you. Something like that. But yeah, so it guided me well. And I was able to eat a lot of things that were good and not so good. And even things that weren't so good, I could only eat a little of it. So, I could partake in stuff like that and not worry too much about the after effects because it was only a fraction that I could eat. I was all right. So, excuse me, I'm going to have some tea. And this is my breakfast this morning, hot tea. This is about a 9 ounce cup or so. I need to get that, confirm how many ounces. So, um, but yes, so 2010, it was like a roller coaster. I've been on a roller coaster ever since. And, but you know what? I complain sometimes, but it's my life. And it makes it interesting. So I really, overall, I really can't complain because some people, again, thank you. I caught myself before I digress. Excuse me. So anyway, in 2010, my boyfriend, we got engaged. We had a trip planned, which kind of turned out to be a pre-honeymoon trip, I guess, out to Venice. And then we bought a house in Florida. And then uh, oh yeah, found out we had the discussion about kids and whatnot. What do we want to do with that? When do we want to try? because we had a lot that we just, like, hurdles we just jumped at that time frame. So I'm like, I don't think that should be anytime soon. Let's wait to towards the end of the year and revisit the situation. Okay, cool. Well, the next month or so, I went to two different OBs and they told me that I had polycystic ovarian syndrome, or some people call it PCOS. Well, PCOS, it's it's like having cysts on your ovaries, which can lead to infertility. And if you eat a lot of foods or drink a lot of things that have sugar, that can inhibit the production of eggs, as well as weight. The heavy one is, that can also lead to, I don't know if it's considered a temporary infertility. I would say a temporary infertility simply because I had lost all the weight with the band's help, remember? And because of that, my infertility was not an issue. Because both doctors told me that, well, you either have a 50-50 chance of getting pregnant. That's for every woman, right? Every normal woman who has normal biological workings in there. Well, those with PCOS in particular have less than a 50% chance. So we were like, we knew, now had this information, and we made that decision after we got engaged and had the house. We said, you know what? This was June, July timeframe. We said, all right, well, we'll go ahead, we'll let the chips fall where they may. If we do get pregnant, then that means the PCOS really wasn't too much of an issue because the weight was down at the time. I was active, and I've always been an active type of person. So we did that, and lo and behold, we got pregnant. It's like we weren't even trying. We got pregnant the first time. It's like, oh, we got the house. We got a baby coming. So and luckily we already had the date for the wedding set for like 4 months later. So I went down the aisle about 3 or 4 months pregnant, and but it was very good. And when I finished, I had the baby, healthy baby boy, and I couldn't have been happier. Now, first, let me pause and say this video is now at 12.36 seconds, 12 minutes 37 seconds. So I'm going to kind of speed it up, and if you want, you can speed up yourself. Because, like I said, this is going to be the baseline video. I'm going to tell you everything about me, why I'm going through this. So, carrying on. And so after I had my son, the joy of my life, I went ahead and told the doctor who put the band in, well, I was pregnant and all that. So he took the fluid out so that I can eat more for nutrition of the baby's sake. Makes sense, right? So I went ahead and ate more. I had orange juice like every day. And that was my craving, orange juice at the time. Weird, but it worked well because my son came out holding his head up everywhere. It's like, oh, that's interesting. So yes, I went ahead and got my band filled. I'd say 3 to 4 months after he was born, and they only filled it up a little bit because they said if I'm still breastfeeding, then I need to still get some particular nutrients in with my foods. That was fine. I was okay with that. Fast forward to 6 months, 7 months old. The baby was on the bed sleeping with us, and he woke up before we did. And of course, parents, first time parents being totally exhausted. He was super excited to see us. He's in the bed and he's hopping around, and he went up in the air and jumped, and he had like perfect accuracy. His knee came down right on my stomach, right on the port, and flipped that bad boy. And I felt a little bit of pain, but thankfully it wasn't long term. It was like 10 minutes worth, and it just felt uncomfortable. So told the doctor. The doctor said I had to flip it again. And I think at one point I had to go through a quick outpatient surgery because they had to flip the port. They couldn't do it from the surface on the outside, but they had to go in this time. And ever since that incident, I was experiencing issues with the port. And then fast forward to 2013, when we moved to Virginia, I established a doctor, and the port was starting to slip. Not, yeah, well, slip, because it's supposed to say horizontal. Like if you can picture the band right through the horizontal part, perpendicular to it, that's your esophagus into your duodenum into the stomach. And right between it is the band. So my band was no longer horizontal, it was slipping vertically. And vertically was causing acid reflux like crazy. And it was to the point where I would try my best to sleep in an incline. I had to leave my bed for a few days and sleep on the couch just because I was sitting upright. And after a while, that still did not help. I was still spitting up this, like, looked like coffee grains. And after research, I found out that it was old blood. So, all right, that's not something one should be spitting up. So I called the doctor, and the doctor said, if it gets worse, because this at this point it's not looking good, but if it's worse where it impedes my breathing or anything like that, then absolutely we need to go to the emergency. Well, shit. Soon as he said that, it's like 2 days later or a day later, I'm trying to eat something that's thick, and I think I ate like a burger because I said a burger is not something like tea or broth or soup, something light. I want something heavy so they could push that stuff down further into the stomach. And the burger did that. But then I don't know if it just, flipped, moved the port even more because now when I breathe deeply, I could feel it. It was discomfort. Didn't hurt at all, thankfully, but I couldn't breathe deep. I could only do shallow breaths. And with shallow breaths, sorry, my dog. With shallow breaths, I called them, told them, they said, okay, emergency surgery, let's go. So, yada, 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 they removed the band. I could have had it fixed. I could have had it fixed. But my husband, my brothers, my fathers, everything, they said no. They said no, take it out. I'm tired of seeing all these issues. So fine, I did. I took it out 2013, end of 2013. 2014, the rest of 2013, my weight was looking like the chart, the plotted chart of a sine and cosine graph. Okay, it was a nice oscillation. And I mean, it was 2 pounds gain, 3 pounds loss, 5 pounds gain, 1 pound loss. It was just so bad. It really was. And I had stress. I had life. Whatever your life is, that could be a stressor. You might not know it. You might not see signs, but internally, it's working on you. And my internals that was it. It was telling me. And sometimes I didn't want to believe it because I'm the type of person that can handle stress. I can handle multiple things at many times because I am a multitasker. And a lot of people say, oh, that's bullshit. No, man. Yeah, come to my house, honey, okay? I can listen to 3 conversations at once and answer them all in order. And I mean, doing it for so long, you kind of wear yourself out too. So, I mean, hey. But, yeah, so that happened. And after a while, I said, it's got to be something I can do here. I went to the gym they had. Um, Nothing. Again, up, down, up, down, up, down with the weight. So finally went to my GP, my doctor. I told her what's going on, and she's been knowing everything. Oh, see, she's been knowing everything since day one, since we moved up here. And she recommended the bypass surgery. She's like, I know you had the band, but I think you might benefit greatly from the bypass. I was like, really? Okay. You went to that real quickly. I know doctors, some of them are in for the money, but like, okay, no, why do you say this, doctor? And she pretty much told me, well, with your particular schedule that you've been explaining to me, you know, on all the visits that you have here, I think this surgery will allow you to handle it all much better. And I was really concerned about going through this surgery or another weight loss surgery, because with any major surgery, you have downtime. You have to heal, you have to do stuff. And I can't hold my little one. I can't pick him up. I can't smooch him. I can't do a huggle muggle with him. I can't do that yet. And it kills me. It really does. It kills me. So when I hear mommy and I can't do anything, and I'm like, I'm kind of tearing up because I can't. And I just have to tell him, be gentle with mommy. Be gentle with mommy, you know? So, yeah, it really does get to me. And I told my doctor, I said, I want to make sure before I even venture down this path, I want to make sure that, okay, not only will it be right for me individually, but for us as a family. Because I don't want to be at a point where I can no longer contribute, whether it be physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally to my family, if I'm constantly like hungover, like weak, you know, from the side effects of the surgery and what have you. I said, do you know of any patients that are similar situations? And she told me, she cut me off right there. She's like, absolutely. I had a lot of military families, and a lot of the wives in particular, always the wives. But, a lot of the military wives that she had as patients were also heavy. They had multiple kids, some of them, and granted living, if they lived at a military institution, there are a lot of things there at the institution that the families can go to and partake in. So it's almost like, okay, I'm feeling weak today or this week, I'll have somebody come over, grab the kids and bring them over to whatever place to play, you know. So yeah. So she told me that. Then I went to like two or three other doctors, and they recommended, highly recommended, that I go through it as well. So I said, okay, so clearly there's something that they're trying to tell me and not directly tell me. So that's when I really put my the pedal to the metal and did a whole lot of research into side effects, what to expect, and post-op, pre-op, what's a typical diet, what's this, what's that, anything and everything you can think of. And I had to do a 6 month weight management program with my GP, which actually turned out to be 8 months because their office couldn't get the codes right. But I eventually got it done, submitted to the insurance, and took them 3 days, people, 3 days to come back with approval. So I said, oh shit, okay, we waited for so long, and now it's hurry up, go. And after 3 days, the surgery scheduler at my doctor told me that we can do it. Now, we only have a small window to work in before we have to reapply and do all that stuff again. I said, okay, all right, so 30-day window, at least I can schedule 30 days out, right? Give myself some more time. And wrong. My doctor was also about to go on vacation. So that narrowed the window down from 30 days down to 15 days. And within that 15 days, there was only one date available, August the 25th. And this was August the 11th, I believe. My date might be wrong with that. Um, yeah, the 11th, August the 11th, that the surgery schedule told me. So I said, holy crap. So you're telling me I got 2 weeks to get crap together? And luckily, I did not have to go on a strict liquid diet prior to the surgery. And I think that's because I did the 6 month weight management with my doctor. Now, I have to say it's 24-minute video. And now here's the statistics. I'll put this in the notes. So my statistics pre-surgery, pre-gastric bypass. Again, 6 feet tall, female. I'm a thick frame, and my goal weight really is between 200 and 215 on the high scale. On the low scale is 190 to 200. And I would not mind shooting for that 190 frame because I want to have more children, and one or two more, hopefully, if God willingly, if that happens. And that will give me wiggle room to gain some more weight back, but still be in my zone. Now, my highest weight before I started this path was 330. Again, as a 6 foot female, it did not look like I was 330. It looked like I was heavy, but it didn't look like I was that heavy. Now, after the 6 month, really it was 4 months of weight management management with my doctor, I managed to bring my weight down to 302. Yeah, like 302. It's just under 30 pounds in 4 months, but I kept it off. And there were a lot of things that happened within that time frame. Birthdays, other events, and outings, and dinners, and friends, and so you had these high rich meals, and birthday cake, and cupcakes, and oh yeah, I got it in too. I got it in. But at the same time, I did my best to level it out so that I got it in, but I also got my exercise in too. So it worked out. It worked out. So, I like I said, my surgery weight when I started was 302. Today is the 31st, Monday. I'm looking at my calendar to confirm. So I am now 6 days post-op. Hurrah! And I have not been on a scale. Quite frankly, I have no intentions on going on a scale until I get to my doctor's because one, the swelling in the abdomen is still there to some degree. And I'm still walking every day and doing exercising. So, and on top of that, I can only consume but so much freaking food. If you can only do that day in, day out, you're going to lose something. Whether it be water, fat, muscle, you're going to lose something. So by the time I get to the doctors, I know that number will be down. I'm not too concerned about it right now. It's when I feel really good and healthy and now I'm on solid foods and I can go, then that's when I'm looking at my numbers. But right now, I'm okay. I don't want to be obsessed with it. And that's one thing that I would highly recommend. Know your current weight going into the surgery, but you're going to have swelling, you're going to have bruising, you're going to have inflammation. So that's the last thing you really want to be bothered about is worrying about the numbers on the scale. Don't even bother. It's not worth it. Now, granted, if you see yourself swelling up everywhere else the day after, you might have something else going on. Then yes, that's time to call the doctor. So yes, again, that's the baseline of this video. I think I'm going to make 30 minutes on this video. Ouch. I don't think there's a 30-minute video on YouTube. Well, hey, maybe here's my first. So I'm going to do my second video right after this. So you're going to see like the same background. Nothing's going to change. I think that was it. Yeah. So yes. Thank you so much for sticking around. If you stuck around for the full 28 minutes here, I'll see if I can cut it down. If not, happy viewing!